Hello guys, welcome back to this tutorial. So we're continuing with our series on how to create a web application dashboard using Python, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and Python. Okay, so Python you're going to be using Flask. Okay, so in this tutorial we're going to go ahead and display the user inputs right here. So the table to show the users transactions. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up my GitHub page here. This code is on my GitHub page, so I'm simply going to copy this code and I'm going to paste it and I'll explain to you so that you can keep the tutorial short. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and I'm going to create this is going to be sorry, we don't even need to create a new one. It's going to go into index, and then in index you're going to paste the code here. So I'm just going to replace all of this with this code that you have just copied. So this is just a simple just 30 lines of code. It's HTML basically. So it just creates the transaction, and then it creates a bootstrap table, a table from bootstrap, and then you're going to enter the data in here. So what you're going to do is you're going to get the data from the user. Okay, you're going to get the data from the database. You're going to loop through the data and display it here. So first let's go ahead and actually get the data from the database. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say entries equals to let me just include income dot query. That's like we used to do in the terminal. Dot query dot get dot query dot all. Sorry, this is all, just like we did in the back in the terminal. So we're going to get all that query, and then what you're going to do is that you're going to pass that query to our HTML, which is going to render it in form of a table. Okay, in a tabular form. So let me just show you what I mean by that. So in here we're going to get the query. Now we need to pass into here. So I need to say queries is queries, just like that. And what we need to do is just to get all the list of all those things. So now we're going to order it in a certain order. Okay, so we don't want it starting from the latest being at the bottom. So you need to say query, and you need to say dot order underscore by, and then order by, we need to order by income expenses dot the date, right? The date field dot, you're going to put in descending order, just like that. So this is going to order return for us all our entries in descending. So we're going to query, and then sorry, this is actually dot. So we're going to income dot query order by. You're going to be ordering by the income expenses to date column in descending order. This is what descending order means. And you're going to return all of it. You're going to pass it into our index HTML file. So we're going to bring that in here. You're going to go a loop, right? So we're going to say from here, this will be the table head, right? The table head showing the different divisions. And then from here, we're going to loop and enter each row. Okay, this will be the head of the table, this will be the body of the table. So this will be for entry in entries. We're going to loop through each. We're going to say entry dot index, which is going to return to us the number of rows, right? That's what we do that, how we do that in Flask. You're going to get the date column, and the date column you're going to format it from the day, the month, and then the year. That's what you're going to do. That's what strf format does for you. Then you're going to put the type, which is going to align with the type label, the type header, the category header, and then the amount header, and then finally the link to delete it. So now this link right now, I don't actually have this link. Okay, so let me just replace this with replace this, and I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to comment it out just like that. Now for now we're going to leave it like that, and then I'm going to put this here just to be an asterisk. So this is going to be a button for which you're going to be able to use to delete our columns. Okay, so now let's go back and then let's hit index and make sure our server is running. It has stopped running, so I'm going to start the server again, and then make sure I go back to our website, and then I refresh it. So if I refresh it, you're going to get all the entries that you have inputted in the table format. So you can see this is the delete buttons. Now these delete buttons do not have any functionality, so these are the functionality we're going to be giving these delete buttons. So to delete these buttons, to delete the function, we're going to create a route called delete, and it's going to take in a primary key, right? So that's what it's going to do. So let me just take you back to our routes, and then you're going to call it create it here at the very bottom. So I need to say app, this will be app.routes, and then you're going to specify here / and then this is going to be delete routes. So this delete route is going to take in an integer, right? So it's going to take in int of type, which is going to be called entry ID. You can call it anything you want. I'm going to call it entry ID, and you're going to call def delete, just like that. And you're going to take in here entry, whatever we have called up the entry and the ID, and then you're going to move down here, and then you're going to get the query. If you get the query, you're going to delete it. So we're going to use entry equals to income dot get underscore or underscore f404. so what this is going to do is that instead of returning an error if it doesn't find the element, what it's going to do is going to return to us a 404, which means not found, instead of our web server crashing. So that's what it does. So I'm going to pass in here entry ID, so that's why we're going to be using the 404. okay, so now we need to say decision dot session. We need to actually say delete instead of add, so we're going to delete, and we're going to pass in the entry that we have just gotten from there. And then the db session, we need to now commit to our database, right? So we're going to commit, and then we're going to flash a message to the user saying that deletion was successful, just like that. And then you can give it a class of success, like that. And then yeah, so that's all we need to do. So now we can just return. Just make sure I return. And now what I'm going to return, I'm going to return redirect, and I'm going to return the user to the URL. This will be URL4, and I'm going to return the user back to the home page index. Just that's all I'm going to do. So now we can go back in here and actually specify that link. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just come up here, delete this, and I'm simply going to create this. So in here I'm going to say URL underscore 4. And then you're going to pass in here, this is single quote, since we are going to use double quotes. We have already used double quotes on the outside. You're going to delete route, and then you're going to say entry ID is equals to entry, which will be every entry that you are looping through. The current entry that you're looping through, we're going to get this ID. So if you're looping through the third entry, then in here what will be placed in here will be the entry of the third ID. That's why you're saying entry, since you're going to say for entry in entry, so each entry that you loop through, this ID will be the one here. So that's all we need to do. So now I can just remove this column comment out, and I'm going to go back to our web, check our web server, stop running, start it again, and I'm going to go to the server front end, and I'm going to see here if I press delete, I get an error. So type object income expense has no get or 404. So let's check why we have that error. So it's supposed to be get underscore 44 underscore, so get. I think we need to import this get 44, but no, it's not supposed to be imported. It's supposed to be dot query. I forgot the query here, so this will be query dot get or 404. So that's what I forgot. So I'm going to refresh this, and now you can see now the deletion was successful. If I delete again, deletion was successful. If I refresh, this thing goes away. If I delete this one, the deletion was again successful. So that's how we can be able to delete stuff here. So if I go to add, I can add new stuff in here. I can say expenses, rent, salary, and then I can commit, and then you can see it's here. So a successful entry, and I can also delete that entry. So that's how we're going to be we are able to update and delete those specific entries. So the next tutorial, we're going to go ahead and actually create a dashboard, and then we'll be done with this series. So if you are enjoying this series so far, please give this video a thumbs up, support my channel, like the video, share the information with your friends, and yeah, if you have interest, hit subscribe. Kindly subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell so you can stay updates for new informative videos like this one. So thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial. Keep safe.